episode of Different by Default. This is
summer content.
Summer content.
I'm on hiatus, but we still out here dropping episodes for y'all.
Dropping a lot of summer stuff for y'all. But without further ado, I want to introduce our guest with us today. We have Quad Savage with us.
You want to give the viewers a little background about yourself, like where you come from?
Okay, so hey guys, hey chat. I am from Newark, New Jersey. I'm a new up-and-coming artist, and I don't know, I feel like we should get into it as the questions come, because it's like, what else could I really say?
Okay, that's right.
I'm a major entrepreneur, content creator, and artist, so yeah.
So you said in the beginning of your intro that you're an upcoming artist. Like, so how do you, like, handle creating music, and, like, what gives you your influences?
Okay, so because I'm so new, I just started literally like this year, but I've always kind of like been trying and writing old stuff. But I would say the beat, or how I'm feeling, or like whatever the topic is, but most likely the beat, because I'm very like picky with the beats that I choose. So probably the beats.
Did you ever feel like you I feel like sometimes people always feel like they want to be a rapper, or they think that they can be, but they never take the action. So, like, did you feel like before, like, hey, rapping would be something I would want to do or try? Or was it just like, I want to try this and I think it'd be really good?
Absolutely not. Like, literally the only reason I did music, because everybody around me who did do music, and a lot of, like, my friends who were kind of really decent at music, like, kind of big, they told me to. So it's like, I kind of got, I wouldn't say forced, but it's just like, everybody must see something, so I might as well give it a shot, you know? So basically, I literally was like fighting it for like a good 2-3 years to not do music. But I'm like, I done did so much, and everything I've done, I got successful, and then I got bored with it. So I'm like, let me see how far I could get with music, because everything else I felt like that I did, being an entrepreneur, I feel like I conquered it. So it's like, let's see how far music can really take me.
That's real. You bring up a little bit of your entrepreneur side. So like, what? Can I ask, like, have you gone into, like, multiple businesses? Like, what is your entrepreneur side for you?
Okay, so I've always been real hands-on and artsy. So everybody know a couple years back, well, most people in Jersey know that I used to customize sneakers. And I got into that because I seen something that caught my eye. And one of my friends was like, yo, I want these. I'm like, I could do that. He was like, do it. I'll buy it off you. So I did it, and then I dropped like a sample on Instagram, and it went viral like instantly. And I'm like, yo, and I'm so much of a marketing person. Like, I'm really big on marketing. So I'm like, everybody knows, like, with celebrities, that everybody want what they either doing or want to be like them. So I'm like, if I could get it to celebrities, it'd be a cakewalk, because now it'd be not just my city, but more so global. So that's how I really started with that.
That was gonna be our next question, but so as we're in there, did you have so would you say like that experience was super fun? Like, you enjoyed creating sneakers for other people to wear and be able to customize them for them?
Yes, I would say that part was really fun. Like, actually meeting people, and I never really cared for not to say I never really cared for celebrities, but I always treated like celebrities like regular people. So when I would make the shoes, I would literally just DM people like, what's your shoe size with the shoe? And everybody I hit up, everybody wrote me back, like every single last person. So I wanted to get to guys more so, because they spend, like, fair enough to say, they spend way more faster than females. So
I'm like, with the female shoes?
No, not insulting, but I know that, because I wanted to upcharge, because I'm like, I wanted to upcharge. And I'm like, all right, what's a common shoe that like everybody want, like everybody wear, and it never goes out of style? Air Forces. Like, guys are gonna go, like, it's gonna hit every time. So I'm like, all right, what could I do to, to the shoe? So once I customized the shoe, it went pretty viral, and then I started networking with celebrities, and then it went even more viral. So it's like, okay, we got something here. So
that's real. Because I was just thinking, I was like, dang, I do need a new pair of Forces.
No, you don't. No, you don't.
You always need a new pair of Forces.
I retired with that, so.
What you mean? You never go wrong with that.
I just want to ask you, like, out of all of the sneakers that you customized, so, like, did you have a favorite pair that you customized, or?
A favorite pair? You know what's crazy? I did have one favorite pair, but the favorite pair I had, the artist, I couldn't get to him. Like, he was always in trouble, in and out of jail, and I got to his people, and I linked up with his people, but he was always like in and out of trouble, so it was like, damn, I couldn't get to him and give him the actual shoe. But me and his people locked in, like, follow each other and everything, and it's just like, damn, couldn't, like, that was the one person I couldn't get to.
That's real. You talk about like meeting celebrities and having different connections. Best friend is Michael Foreman. Like, like,
yeah, that's my dog.
Not a lot of people can say that. You know, how did that relationship like become, or like how did you guys become like best friends?
Okay, so funny you say that. Like the first shoe that I created was like, it had like a Dior design. So around the time when I made that shoe, Pop Smoke and him had like this whole coast on lock, safe to say. Like, they had the buzz going. But then before I could get to Pop, he passed away, and that shook everywhere up. So then I'm like, all right, I already had wrote Fabi, but when I wrote him back, like when I wrote him, he wrote me back instantly, and I was just like, he's like, yo, I need him ASAP. So I'm like, okay, but give me some time. Like, what's your shoe size? And then he told me his shoe size, and then I'm like, all right. He like now, like, I got shoulders that and third. I'm like, listen, give me some time, because like I just dropped the shoe the day before, so by the time I hit him up, he like, yeah, need him, and I'm just like, okay, wait, let me just give me like at least 48 hours, 24 hours, just so, because for him, you know, I'm like, I gotta make sure nothing falls off, nothing messes up, so I want to make sure they were like super secure. And when I linked him, he was so cool, down to earth, and I wasn't like super fanned out or like, oh my god, so it was just like, all right. It was a like cool connection. I didn't do too much. I wasn't really pulling my phone out. Anytime I recorded, I asked like, yo, if I record, I want to get content. He's like, hell yeah, like, go crazy. So I got the content, and then after that, I just didn't bother him. So after that hit me, like, yo, I'm like, yo. He like, what you doing? I'm like, nothing, doing shoes. And he like, you want to go outside? I'm like, what you doing? He like, pop out. I got like I think he had like a video shoot or a studio, and I had went and I brought one of my friends who, I'm not friend no more, but we went, and it was a vibe, and like we was all chilling, and ever since then, it's been history. Like, we got mad close, like extremely close, and most people would be like, oh, they gotta be dating, they gotta be doing this, they gotta be doing that. This man has never came onto me in no way, shape, or form. Like, nothing but good vibes and fun. Like, he's literally such a down-to-earth person, mad cool, like literally, you gotta meet him. He's a little bit, you know, spontaneous, but like, and like blunt, but very respectful, very down to earth, like cool as hell.
I was able to see him perform once, and I do agree. Like, from his stage interaction, like, he has all his homeboys up there. Like, he's down and he's chill from what I've seen so far of him. Would you say? So, since you're now becoming an artist, does he like help you out a little bit with music, or was he at least one of the people that said you should maybe try looking into?
Yeah, he was like the very first person. Like, yo, you got like the rapper aesthetic, you should do music. And then when he would bring me around his other rap friends, and he would introduce me to them, they'd be like, "What she do?" He like, "Oh, now she cuts my shoes." Like, that's one thing about him. Like, he always pushed my sneakers. Like, yo, she do shoes, this, that, and third. She made these, this, that, and third. He actually gave me a shout out on SneakerCon, and I was like so grateful for that, because that's like the biggest sneaker platform in the world. Mm-hmm. But the thing about it, before I just started doing music in 2025, like the beginning of this year, I knew him since like 2020, like 2020 or the end of 2019. So all that time, he was literally like, do music. And I'm just like, yo, I don't like being in the front. Like, I like to play the back. Like, I'm not really that type of person to be like, and the music in the front. Like, I was like, he used to be like, when I would come to his shows, he'd be like, come on stage. I'm like, ooh, no, like, that's a lot. Like, so he was one of the main and first people to tell me, like, except my little cousin. I got a little cousin who does music, and he actually had the City Hot. He's always told me since back then, but like a mainstream artist, he probably was the first person to tell me, like, yo, you should do music.
Mm-hmm. Ric Flair, that song. Mm-hmm. So that was one of the most recent ones that I know of, and I know you did CTE on Dumb and Lit. Which one out of the two performed? Well, my question for Ric Flair, like, did you choreograph the whole like thing, or like the video play out of it?
Okay, so growing up, I was such a tomboy.
Okay.
Big wrestling fan. I was a hardy girl. Loved wrestling. And I'm like, I want to do something that's like kind of like sexy, but still my personality, because honestly, I really did not care for Ric Flair, but everybody who I let hear Ric Flair was like, this is the song, push this song. I really kind of leaned more on CTE because it was a backstory to that a lot of people didn't really know, because that went viral for good and bad reasons. But Ric Flair, the video, not to get sidetracked, but the video, I knew it wanted to be wrestling in it because it was called Ric Flair, and I didn't want it to be basic and just sexual, and because I'm not the most sexual person, which may be surprising from certain social media, but I feel like I wanted to be like fun in this, like tell a story and be like, I wanted people to watch this video and be like, what the hell?
Mm-hmm.
Like, what the fuck is going on? So I'm like, yeah. My videographer and me, we like came together and like, he directed it, but like that was my idea. Like I actually had to fly those wrestlers, like one of the main wrestlers in, and another wrestler. He was from I think Patterson. Yeah, he was actually from Patterson, and it came together and it was like really fire.
I can tell. I was watching. I was like, this has got a little story behind it, because most videos are like just people walking around or this that, and that. I'm like, the actual story behind the Ric Flair one. Because you brought up the CTE, what can we know what the story behind CTE is?
Okay, so with CTE is, I don't want to give too much, 'cause I don't know, like, if you did some research, it'll come up. But there was a situation where I had to go to therapy for, like, multiple reasons. But as I'm going to therapy and, like, a cool month in the therapy, or, like, a month and some change in, they diagnosed me with that. And I'm like, what the fuck is this? And then I looked into it. I'm like, damn, this is serious. And I'm like, I don't have that. Like, there's no way, and then to actually test to see if you have that, I think you gotta die. And they gotta, like, run tests on your brain and stuff. So it's like, you can never really diagnose somebody with this until they're gone. So I kind of understand why they said it, and there's a lot to that story, but I was diagnosed with it and, like, multiple other things. But that one was, like, kind of big, because I'm like, if you know the diagnosis to it, like, in the history of that, for somebody to tell you that, and a professional, like, a person who diagnosed people to tell you that, it was like, this lady losing her mind. Like, there's no way you're that serious right now. So it was a story behind CTE. So, and then it was like, if you listen to the song, it was about, like, crashing out, if you listen to the lyrics. But the CTE part just kind of stuck, because a lot of people who listened to the song was like, didn't know what CTE was, and people who knew was like, she can't know what she's saying. And it's like, no, I know exactly what I'm saying. So that was kind of the story behind CTE.
We did search up the true words behind CTE. So I've heard of CTE, but I didn't know the words, and I actually searched it up. I was like, oh, it's interesting. But yeah, okay.
So you said earlier that you was getting into influencing. How do you feel about, like, Jersey content creators and influencers around, like, where you're from, like in Newark, Orange, even us here in, what would you count as that?
We make content available, but I think we're Orange and Newark, Jersey created.
We're
creators.
you're a mix of the oranges. I guess so.
I feel like with content creation, we don't have enough, like outside of, like, actual artists. Like, of course, there's, like, 2 million rappers, but, like, actual content creators and streamers and, like, comedians and stuff. Like, yeah, we got comedians, but, excuse me, I feel like we need way more content creators, because compared to other cities like New York and Philly, and we right in the middle, and it's like, those cities have so many, like, streamers, content creators. Like, I feel like we just don't have enough. Like, we need more people to actually, like, do it, I feel like.
That's real. How has content creating been for you so far? Because, well, you're becoming an influencer, so you're making content, and you're actually trying to, that's what I can say is, like, make content that people want to enjoy and people want to come back and watch. So, like, how do you feel like it's been for you?
I feel like the beginning of it was extremely fun. Like, it was extremely fun, but now it's like, I feel like I went through, like, a state of depression, like a really, really, really bad state of depression, and I'm just starting to try to, like, shake back from it. So I feel like it's been interesting for me. Like, right now, at this part of my journey, has been extremely interesting, and I feel like, I don't even know how to really answer that, because it's, like, so much to it. Like, I feel like it's not even begun yet for me. Like, I feel like it barely started. It's like, okay, I just put the pen up to the story, in a way.
Do you have any content creators now that you like watching so far? or nah?
I actually do. I actually like watch stream almost every day. Like the actual streamers, like I really like tune in and like watch them a lot, like a lot, a lot. Like I actually know a few. Shout out to Rod. He's actually in American Dream Mall right now. I was on. Not to cut you off. I'm sorry. I was on his stream in Philly one time. I got invited by another one of my friends from Philly, and I went out there. So I already got to like vibe with him, and he's actually really, really down to earth. So yeah.
I think K Vibes out there at the. I think I saw him posted up over there. So yeah. Would you have gone to the American Dream? Would you have gone to the American Dream? Like it was a pool party, if I'm not mistaken.
Yo, I'm so mad I missed it. Like I literally missed it. I was moving around so much I wasn't watching the stream, and then people was hitting me, asking me was I there because people know I know him. So I'm like, yo, I didn't know it was today because it was like after he hit a certain amount of goals that's when he would have the pool party. But he hit the goal so fast. I'm like damn, he already having a pool party? Like damn, he is soaring. I'm like, yo, he's moving so fast. But I definitely would have went to the pool party with so many people that I knew there, and I'm like, damn, American Dream Mall is so close to me. I'm like, damn.
Is there any content creators that you want to work with right now or in the future?
Of course. Right now, I'm really willing to work with, like, at this point, anybody who's willing to work with me, honestly. Like, I'm not really, like, picky or, like, oh, I don't like that person. I'm not really picky. Like, I don't really see people who is like, oh, no, I can't work with this person. So, anybody who's willing to work with me, I'm kind of up for it.
To kind of pivot, so you were in a car accident. It's not, to be honest, not very good story to tell most of the time. From what I'm aware of, you broke 3 bones in your neck, or am I wrong?
Okay, so I broke 2 bones in my neck and I dislocated my neck. So, yeah, I broke 2 bones in my neck and dislocated it, and I shattered my femur, so I had multiple breaks in my femur, which is the biggest bone in your body. And I tore my labrum, so a ligament in my shoulder, I tore it. And I didn't know that my labrum was torn until like a year later because I couldn't move. I couldn't lift this arm for the life of me. I couldn't pick it up whatsoever. And then they had to keep running tests because my arm kept popping out the socket. And I kept telling the therapist, like, yo, my arm is falling out of the socket. They're like, no, it's not. And I'm like, give me a hand. And I sat their hand on my shoulder and I relaxed and they felt it. And they was like, oh my God. And they wrote up like a script for me to go see a doctor and set it up. And I ended up getting another surgery a year later. So, yeah, pretty bad accident. So.
Obvious glory that you're here, you know.
Yo, literally, my doctor tells me all the time, like, you're a walking miracle. Like, you literally, like, even though you didn't die, because he was like, if you would have waited for the ambulance and lost consciousness, you could have literally died from your injuries. But I was so, like, out of it. I'm like, it was getting cold. I'm like, I was so out of it. The injuries weren't really, like, I was like, you know when you hurt, but you don't know what's hurt, so
the
you're not.
Adrenaline's kind of kicking in, so you're not sure what is actually hurting.
Yes, like, you don't really know what's really wrong. So I'm like, yeah, I just didn't really know what was going on at the time. And the ambulance, I didn't stay long enough for the ambulance to come and get me. My cousin was in another car around us, so he ended up, like, coming back and then, like, getting us to the hospital. And he had, like, a Hellcat, so, like, we got there pretty fast.
How did the accident even happen?
I would say negligence. Okay. So, pretty much, drunk drivers. I wasn't driving.
Okay.
I was in the back seat, so I was not driving at all. Someone else was driving, and was pretty much a dummy. So.
So since you were in the back, were there other people that got hurt too, or is it just you? Or were you hurt the most severe?
I mean, I was hurt the most, but other people got hurt, but like
not to that extent.
Nowhere near, like, no other broken bones, like nobody hurt, like nothing. But so I think my little brother, he was in the front seat, he had a concussion, and the person who was in the back seat with me, they had hurt their nose. But other than that, everybody was pretty much okay. My little brother, he had a really bad concussion because once his adrenaline actually wore off, he collapsed. So it was like kind of crazy. The whole night was just crazy as hell. Like, and because he helped me get out the car, but once everybody was like, I'm at the hospital and everything, and then they took him home, he ended up like, he was talking crazy, and everybody like, yo, what's wrong with him? Like, is he all right? Falls out. My sister catches him. They rushes him back to the hospital. Mm-hmm. So it was pretty crazy.
How was the recovery process for you? Because that's a lot.
It was extremely. One thing I was like, it was extremely long. Like it was just ongoing. Like right now, I'm not even 100%. So it's like, thank God, by the grace of God, I can still walk and maneuver. But it's such a struggle on a day to day. Like the weather, like it's like, and everybody's like really upset about this heat that's going on in this heat wave, and I'm loving it. Like I'm loving the heat because it's like just a little crack of wind, I'm in the most pain. Just the smallest slight of weather change, it tears me up. Like,
random question: do you have like? Did they put like rods in your body, or no?
Yes. So I have a rod in my leg from hip to knee. So and 8 screws from the top and the bottom. So all the way, from hip to knee, there's a rod. And in my neck, there's a fusion. So there's 2 plates in my neck. And you know how like you got your spine and like each bone is on top of each other. So because it was so broke up so bad, they had to fuse 2 of my bones together. So how it twists like this, 2 of my bones don't move. They're just fused together to make one big bone because there would have been no way to kind of like save it without, like, it was just a tedious job without, paralyzing me, because literally going into surgery, he's like, listen, when you come out of this surgery, you're going to be paralyzed. And in order to get this surgery, you have to sign this paper and acknowledge that you know this. And if not, you're just going to lay here and, have to go to another hospital. So you're going to sign a paper. You know what I mean? I snatched the pen from him and signed that paper because the adrenaline was long gone. Bitch. Bitch. Oh my God, I never experienced any type of pain like that in my entire life. And my faith in God is so strong, like, I knew that my faith wouldn't be, too bad. So, gave it to God, and it's the best person to put your faith in, so that's how I'm here talking to y'all today.
What a glory of God. I can tell the cool thing because I had a friend who had a father who had they had steel in their bones, steel in their legs. So they moved to Florida because up here it gets cold,
Mm-hmm.
and it kind of it makes their the leg worse. So I was like, oh, so you must have something. Figured that makes sense.
Yes, the rain, the cold does me bad, but even right now I'm cold and it's like room temperature here. But I'm anemic, so on top of that, I'm always cold. Literally, I'm about to start shivering a little bit, but here nor there. But literally, I would move to goddamn anywhere else that's with heat because it's so bad. Like it could get to you want to burst out in tears bad. It's that crazy.
So do you stay in Jersey for the winter, or no? You be out?
I want to, but for a long time, for a couple of years, I haven't been cleared to fly. Since my accident, I still haven't been able to fly because a lot of people don't know, but the pressure from being that high in the air, if you're not cleared to fly, you could burst out into a seizure in the air. So, and because when you get opened up for that long, my surgery was one of my surgeries was 19 hours long. So, being open that long, the climate of your body, it changes. So, you can't be to that altitude for too long and, not cleared to fly. So it's a whole lot of risk with that. But I still haven't flown. And when I used to customize sneakers, I was on 4 flights a month. My whole life, just 360. Literally, before my accident, I had got off a tour with Fabi because he wanted me to go on tour with him. And, it was a whole bunch of us. All his whole friend group, all of us was on tour. So as soon as I got off tour with him, probably about 2 days later, accident happened. And it's so crazy because this man is really such a good guy. He's so much my real best friend. He canceled his Atlanta show to come sit in the hospital with me. So W man's for him because a lot of people don't see the things that he do. And he has kids, so it's to stop the bag to be in the hospital with me. and bring me food and just sit there with me like, yo, can you feel your toes? Can you feel this? Like, just talking to me, like, and keeping my spirits up and not having me be down and sad. So, yeah, that's
a real one. That's a real
definitely a real one, for sure.
So, wait, with the accident, is the person at fault getting, like, investigated? Like, what happened to the person at fault?
I mean, she's still outside.
She's still outside. Wow.
She's still outside. I'm gonna say it like that. Leave that at that.
I don't like that.
I mean, one thing I am gonna say, and I may have to come back and tell y'all later, but that's a story for another day.
That's crazy. I don't like that she out in the streets.
That's a story for another day. That's a story for another day.
Wait for the other day.
Yeah.
For the other day. But I don't like that she out in these streets. Like, the story you just told me, I don't want her nowhere near me driving, bro.
Yo, when I tell you the another day story gonna be so tea, bitch. When I tell y'all the another story for another day is gonna be so tea, but when that time comes, it's gonna be here. But till then,
stay tuned. Hope y'all ready for it.
Yeah. That's real. I wanted to pivot back a little bit to your music. I know your last two things that you have out are CTE and Ric Flair. What can the people expect for you to have next out?
my next single is Bounce That Monkey by me, and I think this is going to be a really good summer fun song. Like, literally. If y'all want a little snippet of it, it's actually going to be out by the time this video drops, so Bounce That Monkey by Quad Savage on all platforms. Tap in. So.
Oh, she said. Hey, hopefully we have it for this video. Maybe we'll put it in there. That's her.